This is The Art of Thought, episode 17, recorded on November 14th, 2018. My name is Kweku, and I'm going to talk about a few things. Talk about some new things that I picked up, and some new things that are going on currently. So, currently right now, I picked up a bunch of things, like 2 new things lately, in the past week alone. Picked up 2 new things. Technically, the 2 new things add up to 4 new things, because one of them is 3 objects, 3 of the same object. So, I don't know if you listeners heard. Whoa. Yeah, I don't know if you listeners heard. I've been having problems with the internet lately because I moved my setup to the basement. And so I moved my setup to the basement. And in the basement of this house, you're technically underground, like most basements. And there's almost no internet connection. The internet connection is terrible in this area. We have Verizon Fios. We have I think the 50/50 and 50 up, 50 down. And the internet in the basement, because for some reason, my dad, he stores the router in the loft, which is the 4th floor. Basically, in their room, they have a stairwell that goes up to the loft where he keeps his computer and basically his mini office. And so the internet kind of only gets worse as it gets further downstairs till you get to the basement, which is technically the 4th floor, at the bottom. So you can only imagine how terrible it is. How terrible it is in the basement. It gets to the point where I can't even stream this thing at all. I can't do anything. So I decided the other day, to go and pick up Google Wi-Fi. So I have the box here, but I have the box here. I'll put a link in it in the show notes. And Google Wi-Fi is a Wi-Fi solution from Google, obviously. It's a new thing called Mesh Wi-Fi, in that you have multiple access. Well, you have multiple devices. Let's call them routers as well. You have multiple routers that hook up to your main router, which I decided to experiment, and I decided to plug it into the main primary router into the Ethernet port in my bedroom. So I decided to plug in the first Google Wi-Fi. It's a set of 3 that I picked up. I plugged the first one into the bedroom Ethernet, and then into the wall as well. And basically Ethernet, if you don't know what that is, Ethernet is basically when you use your coaxial cable and I believe it's coaxial. When you use your coaxial cable and you plug it in to, anything, it's how you get direct connection. It's not coaxial. It's actually RJ45. When you use that and you plug it into the wall, if you have a port, then you can get yourself direct connection internet, which makes it seem as if your internet is directly plugged into the router, which is how you get the best speeds. And so I plugged the Google Wi-Fi, even though they told me to plug it into the routers, one of the routers extra ports. I decided to not deal with that and just plug it into, for better coverage, plug it into my room instead. And then the other one is in the living room, and then the other one, in the basement. Because that way, the way it works is imagine a web. If you close your eyes and imagine a web, it overlaps. So anywhere the signal overlaps is where it's easily going to be able to spread to the next place. But if I plugged it into the loft and then I'm getting a call. Let me do this. Hold on. Yeah. So if I plug it into the wall and I just plug each one into a different, at least 2 rooms away. They said 2 rooms maximum away. I did it floors, and each floor luckily is about, right on top of each other, the routers. So I plugged those in, and now the internet speed is really smooth. It's very smooth. And so, yeah, it works so well. And it's really nice. And yeah, so I'm really happy about it. So what it does is, you download the app. It's really easy to set up. Anyone can do it, literally. If you can use a cell phone, like a mobile smartphone, you can set this up yourself. So all you do is you download the Google Wi-Fi app on your phone, Android or iPhone. You plug that. Then you have flip over your routers, each Google Wi-Fi device. Flip it over, and you'll see a QR code. It runs you through all of the steps really easily. It takes 10 minutes to set up all 3 of them that I did. You plug each one into a wall plug. The other two, like after the first primary point, that plugs into your Ethernet or to your router. You plug the other two just into a wall. They don't need to be plugged into any Ethernet, anything like that. And then after that, you just, as it goes through the steps, it basically is telling you to scan underneath each one. And as you scan underneath each one and make sure the correct name is there and everything like that, then you pretty much keep going through it. And the next thing you know, you're done. That's it. And then you name your Wi-Fi network name, because even though there are 3 access points, which that's probably what I should call it. There are 3 access points. It shows it as one because it's technically working as one. It's working together as one hub, one mesh network. And so that way you connect to the one network that you made, and that's it. You will still have your primary home network, whatever the name is from your provider that they gave it or whatever you named it. You'll still have your primary home network if you want to connect to that. Say if you have your smart home stuff to that or something like that. But you also will have your Google Wi-Fi network, which is pretty much the same thing. So it sounds confusing the way I'm saying it, but if you go through the app and you go through the steps, it's a really simple 10-minute process and you can get all of them done. So this is not obviously sponsored or anything like that, but it's something that I decided to try out. It was kind of expensive. It's actually the cheapest solution I could find so far in my Best Buy. It was $250 for the 3-pack for Google Wi-Fi, and it was really easy to set up, which is I'm really glad because I'm not a network admin or anything like that. I just know of computers. And I did that, and it was quick and easy, and now I have good internet in the basement that I can actually broadcast this stream to you all. And it really worked really well, and I'm very surprised about it. It says here, let me see, I'm on the webpage. Give me 1 second. I'm on the webpage, and it says it is it's a 2x2 wave, 2 Wi-Fi, if you know what that means. It's got 2 gigabit Ethernet ports per Wi-Fi point, which is good. So you can actually plug in, on the other side of it, you can actually plug in the Google Wi-Fi hub thing itself directly to your computer if you want to use it instead of Wi-Fi. But I decided to just try, Wi-Fi throughout. It says Bluetooth Smart Ready, TX beamforming, simultaneous dual band 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi supporting ABGN and AC. So, or if you have the new Wi-Fi standards, you pretty much have Wi-Fi 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and whatever number, 4, I guess. So yeah, it really works well. It's nice, quad-core ARM CPU. It's a nice circular. I call it a hockey puck because it looks like a hockey puck, only it's like a fat, tall one. And yeah, it's really nice. So highly recommended. You guys pick it up. I should have just saved this for like a pick at the end, but I really wanted to talk about this device. It's amazing. And yeah, so that is what I purchased. That's the 3-piece thing that I purchased over the course of about a week or two. And so the next thing I purchased, I actually went to Best Buy twice this week, and I purchased what they call the Logitech G933. The G933 is a headset. It's a gaming headset. Comes with a microphone built into the headset that you can slide out. I'm not going to do that because it might actually interrupt the mic on here. My price that I paid for it was like $99.99 because it was on sale at Best Buy. That's technically half off. But on their website, they say it ranges from $139.99 to $199.99, which I don't understand. So just go to your Best Buy or wherever store you shop at and make sure the price is correct, because I'm sure you can find it for $99.99. And the reason why I keep saying Best Buy is because you can walk in and pick it up, and they price match online too, as long as it's an official reseller. And yeah, so go take a look at it there. This is a gaming headset. It has RGB. I wish I could show you guys, but it has RGB, red, green, blue. Basically, it changes colors. You can set the color of your headset, make it pulse and stuff like that. It's not RGB to the point where, like my PC here next to me, where I can literally like set it to music and then it'll pulse to music. It's more, it's like Logitech's type of RGB, the older style RGB, where it just has lights on it, colorful lights that just work. That wasn't the main reason why I got it. I got it because I do live stream and I play games online on Twitch and stuff like that. And like I wanted to not have to use this microphone, even though this Yeti microphone is a really good mic and it's proprietary, so it has really good sound for the price I paid. But like I wanted to be able to freely move my head and not like if I lean back away from it, it gets quieter, and if I get closer, it gets louder. I wanted to just stick out of the side of the headset and I just speak. Now, I'll get to the microphone of it in a second, but this headset, I'll tell you one thing really that I really like about it. It's both wired and wireless. You can use 3.5mm jack or 2.4 gigahertz USB. So it's got its built-in USB hub, USB adapter that you plug into the computer. It actually, the USB adapter can plug into your PlayStation 4. It can plug into your Xbox One. So as long as you plug it in, you can use the headset on both consoles as well as your PC, which is really nice. It comes with the 3.5mm headphone cable as well as a USB. Is it? Let me see. It comes with a micro USB cable, which has like a cloth feeling on it, like a sewn cloth feeling on it around it, like Logitech tends to do. It also comes with this headphone adapter that I haven't really used because I don't really plug in things directly wired anymore. I kind of use Bluetooth all around. And since my computer has a USB port, I just plug in the little adapter that came with the headset, plug it in there, and it's wireless. I can move around. And it's really nice. It says it's got 40mm, or I guess it's 40mm. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's got 40mm drivers. The G933 also features light sync technology, next-gen RGB lighting that synchronizes with your game and content. So you can set it so that way if you get shot, it'll pulse. One weird thing, though, about the lighting is that I guess it's only meant for, like, esports. And since it's only meant for, it seems like it's only meant for esports or like having people around you watching you play the game. And even that, like when you're live streaming and you have a webcam in front of you, like I do right now, the lights are on the back of the headset, which make no sense. It's not in the front of the headset. So people that are watching you on your Twitch stream or whatever stream, Mixer or YouTube gaming stream can see the lights. They can't see the lights because it's behind the headset. It's like, it's on the back of each ear cup. And it makes no sense because if you want lights, you would think you would put it in a place that most people who are going to buy this are not going to be in esports. They're going to be at home streaming or just playing games. I guess they're thinking LAN parties. But, I personally have never been to a LAN party, even though I have plenty of friends who play games. And so I don't understand the lighting situation of it. You can't see it when you put it on your head, so I don't know the point of it. But it's got Dolby Theater surround, which is really nice. DTS headphones, 7.1 surround sound, and it's got different channels that if you open up the Logitech gaming software that you have to install when you get them, if you open it up, you can see each channel. You can do like a simulation of like what each channel feels like when they pump sound into the headphones, and you can just hear it. It's an around the ear feel to me, I guess, because I have a kind of a large head. It's kind of snug around your ears, so no sound will leak out, which could be good and bad at the same time because, if you have kind of a larger head like I do, your ears kind of want to breathe sometimes. So I sometimes have to literally, lift the ear cup and then put it back on to like make my ears breathe for a second. So that's the downsides to it. But otherwise, I really like it. It's really smooth. It's clean. It looks nice. Could be better material quality, honestly. Like one thing I wish this Logitech G933 Artemis Spectrum is what they call it. One thing I wish that it had that other headphones have, a lot of other ones that are premium and this price range have, is the ear cups. To me, they feel like budget ear cups. They're not leather. They're just like this sewn cloth. And I don't really like that. It's kind of annoying to me because, like, you would assume that if you're going to pay $200 for a headset, if you can't find it for $99.99, if you're going to pay $200 for a gaming headset, most of them, I think, at that point are, like, leather. Even that, even if you don't want a gaming headset, say if you have your own proprietary mic, you can pick up, like, a Bose headset, even if it's wired. Or an older Sony MDX or MDR, I'm not sure what it is, but the older Sony headphones that competes with the Bose QC 35-2s. You can pick up the older one probably for like the same price as this headset. It's got a built-in microphone. It's got everything you need, but it's not gamified. It's more like subtle. It's got a glowing G logo on the side for Logitech G, which is their gaming side division stuff. But yeah, it's just I don't know. It's something that it's interesting. It's a good test. Personally, for me though, I personally I like it and all, but for little gimmicks that are in it, such as the lighting on it, the ear cups are kind of cheap feeling to me, and to me the headset's kind of snug, which could be good and bad. Uh, I don't know if I can recommend it or not. I would say that make sure that if you just want something really gaming like, pick up the headset. There might be other ones, but if you just like Logitech, since they usually last for a long time, maybe pick up the headset. But if you don't care for the gaming look, probably look elsewhere. Look for like Bose. Look for something else. They have 3 colors. I got the black one. They have the white, which I think they call snow, and then they have like a specialized version that's like blue and white and black. So that's the Logitech G933 7.1 surround sound. It's made for gamers, literally. Like, there's no doubt about how giant these headphones are. If you don't like giant looking, ridiculous looking headphones, you won't like this. And I would say again, go with Bose, go with Sony's. Sony's. I think the MX. Let me see, MX 1000. I think. Let me see, Sony MX. Yeah, the MX 1000s. Look for the MX 1000. Model 2s. I think, because I think you can pick those up for roughly like $200. Actually, you know what? They're still charging $300. I don't know why you would pay $300 for the older model, but I'm sure you can find the Sony headphones for cheaper, the older brand model of it, not the newer one, because the newer one is $350. So the older one should be maybe in the 200s, which will be in line with this headset, unless you end up paying my price, which was $99.99. So it's an expensive headset, definitely, but if you really like RGB and you really like gaming and stuff like that, there might be better headsets out there. There might be more comfortable ones, but if you just like Logitech in general, and Logitech quality is generally really good in general, so then I would say go for it, pick it up. If you have a Logitech keyboard, Logitech gaming mouse, both of those, and you have this headset, the light sync technology for Logitech's gaming software will come in sync with the lighting of your keyboard and your mouse and your headset together, and it could just look really nice if people are watching you from behind. Notice how I said from behind, because you can't see the RGB on the headset at all when you're putting it on, and I have them on right now as I'm speaking. So that is my review. It's kind of like a review of the Logitech G933 Artemis Spectrum. So far so good. Little gripes, but they work well, especially watching a movie. They work well. I can put a movie on the projector, or I can put a movie on the monitor. I have a 21:9 Logitech monitor, or not Logitech, LG monitor, that I got a while back, and can watch crisp cinema movies on it and put on the headset. And that way, if you're at night and you don't want to disturb someone, you can just put the headset on. You'll have your 7.1 surround sound. It's not Dolby Atmos sound, but it's still pretty good. The sound is all right deep. You can tweak the sound settings if you know audio settings. If you know how to tweak those, you can tweak them on the Logitech gaming software, and it's really nice. So this is a little different. It's a little different style podcast, obviously, but I really wanted to talk about what I've been coming up with, these little technologies that I've been picking up, because it's really been amplifying what type of things that I've been doing, and it's really working well. So I'd say on the other side of things, I got some things that I'm working on. I've been ever since the last podcast that was, I don't even know what the last podcast was. Ever since the last podcast that was talked about, like, I needed to like go back to how things were. I needed to figure out why I'm podcasting in the first place, instead of for the money and for the thing, because I'm not making money from this, doing it for fun. Ever since that podcast, things have definitely changed. Like, my mindset on things, my outlook on things has definitely changed. One thing that I'll definitely say is that I've been going back to the gym. Finally, I've been going back to the gym, and I've been going back to doing the amount of workouts that I was doing in the past. I've been doing that. I've been trying to eat better finally. No more Popeyes all the time and eating out constantly every time. I'm trying to make sure my diet is literally no fast food on days I go to the gym, no fried foods on days that I go to the gym. And if I'm going to go to the gym, if I'm going to the gym in the middle of the day, then before I go to the gym, I need to make sure I up my protein intake. So about 20 grams for me, 20 to 40 grams before I go to the gym. And then afterwards I go to the gym, and I have some food in me, obviously. And I eat lean in the morning, but still I need some carbs. I need to backload some carbs. That way I can have energy to work out. And then after the gym, drinks like 20 to 40 grams of protein, depending on your body size. That way I'm up to 80 right now today, which is pretty nice. Normally I'm like at 40 or maybe like 50 at the end of the whole day. So maybe I'll go to 100 or 120 today, and I'll be good to go. So I've been upping the protein intake. One major announcement that I wanted to talk about, and sorry for the sniffing though, one major announcement that I wanted to talk about was I am actually planning to get into the IT field, information technology field, and I'm actually planning on working on getting my CompTIA A+ certification, and I'm going to a community college near here. I'm going to just inquire at their workforce center to get the CompTIA licensure, and that way I can work in IT, because I've noticed, even though I majored in studio art and I do photography and stuff like that, I do this podcast, which you have to know about some networking stuff. You need to know about some sound working stuff, some cable management stuff. I built my own computer here, which I call the Behemoth, which you need to know about, which obviously in order to build a computer, you need to know about what you're putting into the computer. Not everything is compatible with each other. All the RAM, the SODIMM slots, and GPU, CPU, motherboard, your CMOS sensors. You need to know about where everything is. You need to know about grounding your feet and your hand, your body. That way you don't short circuit anything. You need to know about little things like that. And so I'm using the iPad Pro that I have here, not the new one. And I've downloaded an app. What is it called? I've downloaded an app called CompTIA, literally Pocket Prep CompTIA, and basically it lets me just take practice quizzes, just practice tests like the real thing. Even though I haven't studied necessarily yet, it lets me take practice tests just to see like what I do know about it, and then over time as I'm studying, I can keep taking them, and eventually if I keep getting everything correct, then I know I'm ready to take the CompTIA exam, which is like $200. Then when I get that, I'll have my IT certification, my basic IT certification. And then who knows, in the future I'll get networking plus and all the stuff like that. So things are definitely going to improve. Things are definitely improving. I think the next major thing I'm going to get for myself before Christmas is a soundboard. I've been eyeing one specific one on B&H Photo Video. But since the holidays are coming up, I need to get it soon before people start closing for Thanksgiving and stuff. So maybe I'll pick it up next weekend, actually on Black Friday. I might pick it up. It's going to be, let me see if I can find it. I think it's a Behringer or something like that. Behringer soundboard. It's got a USB interface because I don't have any other way to connect the soundboard right now. I don't have space for that, so I just need a basic USB interface soundboard with 2 XLR ports, as well as 2 headphone ports too. And it's got a USB interface, and then you can also plug in a flash drive to the soundboard, and the intro and outro that you guys hear in this stuff, I can actually play that from the soundboard and adjust the sound like that. Also allowing me to learn sound management, and so I'm gonna be picking that up. So you might be hearing a new sound, like some new quality coming from the podcast soon. So a lot of things are changing. They're changing rapidly. It's getting near the end of the year. We're getting near Christmas, getting near Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is actually next week. Actually, come to think of it, Thanksgiving is Thursday the 22nd, so it's literally a week and a day from today. So next week's podcast will be the last podcast before Thanksgiving, and then it'll still be, obviously I'm still going to be recording it as normal, and then 28th is still going to be normal, but Thanksgiving is coming up, so hope you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving. And yeah, so yeah, that was pretty much the update. That's pretty much the podcast. I kind of made this more like a video. But if you have any recommendations, or you are wondering any suggestions on, like, you want to work it with network, like mesh networking, let me know. I have some recommendations other than Google Wi-Fi. And also, one last thing though, I am also about to install for my parents, because I had my dad purchase a Nest Learning thermostat, and so I'm going to actually install it eventually, probably before the year end. I'm gonna replace our current thermostat with the Nest and paint around it before I put that on, fix the house up. So we'll have a Nest Learning thermostat in the house, as well as some Philips Hue smart bulbs too, so we can use our voice assistants to change turn off the lights and change the hues of them and stuff like that. So it's really nice. We're smart. We're up in the house. We're making it more smart, upgrading some appliances and things like that. Things are changing. But if you want any recommendations, anything, or you need help with anything, you can email me, HeluxTV@outlook.com. That is HELUX TV at outlook.com. You can also go onto the website, HeluxTV, HELUX.com. Actually, rather, is it Helux TV? HeluxMedia.com. It's HeluxMedia.com. And then you can also find me on Instagram, that guy Kwe, KWE, all together. So that guy Kwe. And yeah, so if you have any recommendations, or if you are an IT pro or anything like that, let me know, because I would love to ask some questions about these examinations, because kind of nervous, don't want to mess up and then have to pay again. So let me know anything. And yeah, my name is Kweku Asafu-Adjaye, and I hope you guys enjoy your day. Take care, everybody.